Well, hello there. I have this beauty right here in my hands. This is the Patrick Ta Major Skin Hydra-Luxe Luminous Skin Perfecting Foundation. That's a mouthful. I did pick up the shade 5 Golden Neutral. If you are a shade sister with me, I picked this up after seeing Kelly Gooch use shade 5. She is a shade match to myself. Not only are we both Kellys, we both have the same shade in foundation. This thing, wow, this beauty here has had mixed reviews here. And so, after some thought, I decided I was going to chime in. I was going to use my dry skin in hot and humid Texas. I wanted to put it to the test. Let me read the claims to you. First of all, I did pick this up at Sephora. It is $58. And the claims here say that you are going to have a radiant finish. It is hydrating. There is hyaluronic acid, medium coverage, best for dry combo normal skin, a lightweight and luminous foundation with serum inspired ingredients, and a buildable medium coverage formula that boosts hydration and blurs the look of imperfections. So we're gonna find out. We're gonna find out today. Like I said, people either love or hate this. I've heard more negative reviews than positive, and I just decided that I wanted to try. Can y'all, do y'all struggle with this too? Half the time, I rip the boxes and I don't even mean to, but I decided to chime in. I wanted to see what all of the hype is about. I am getting some fingerprints on this, y'all. Look at that. The packaging is beautiful. It is glass packaging. You have the rose gold logo. We know Patrick Ta likes the glitz and the glamour and the, it looks very elegant. I love the packaging. It's definitely weighty. There is 1 fluid ounce here, but I decided I wanted to chime in. I wanted to put this on my dry skin and see, I'm hearing that it's too luminous. I'm hearing that it's too dewy. I don't know that that exists. Let's zoom you in and find out. I can hear the crackle of the Whispering Woods candle, the Fantasy Cosmetica Makeup Just for Fun collab candle that just recently launched. I can hear the crackle, and even though we are in 90-degree Texas, I am instantly taken back to Michigan and cooler fall weather. I am excited to get this on the face. I do want to let you know, when I am trying out new foundations, y'all, I still prime my face. I still do everything that I would normally do in order to set my skin up for perfection, get ready the way that I would normally get ready. I do want to do a wear test today. I went in with my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Niacinamide Dewdrops, and I took a little bit of my Tatcha Liquid Silk Canvas, put it in my pores and my forehead lines. This is how I like to prep my skin for foundation. I have really been enjoying the one size, but that is a tacky primer and a hydrating primer. So I'm going in with this duo instead because I do want to get my base ready. I do want to prep my base, but I don't want any extra tackiness or any extra glow. That's why I'm not going in with my Auric Glow Lust or anything. I want to see what this foundation can do. And then of course I did color correct with my Sigma color correcting duo. I'm like scraping at the bits here. I do have a new one, but I'm trying to get like every last little bit out. You know what I mean? So I am going to go in, I'm going to use this with my Singe sponge. We are going to apply it on the face. I'm going to give it a little shake. You should always shake your liquid foundations. I love a natural radiant finish. I love medium buildable coverage. I think that this packaging is exquisite, and I'm hoping that the shade is good. First, I was gonna go with shade 6, but then I saw Kelly's video. Okay, so this is pretty runny. You can see, it's pretty runny, but Kelly said that this was her shade, and I know that we're shade sisters, so I'm gonna go with this one. And I'm just gonna kind of dot it on. It actually looks like this will be a great shade match for me. A lot of people did not like his cream foundation. I know a lot of people said that it wasn't their vibe, they didn't enjoy it. I had a lot of friends who tried it out and thought that it was horrible. But y'all, I loved that foundation. I used it up. I ranked it really, really high when I did my foundation ranking. And so even though people don't like this one, I mean, Patrick has been doing a good job for me lately. So we're gonna try him out. I do like to take my sponge and just, it is damp, but I like to get a little spritz of Fix Plus because again, dry skin, so hello. I need all the help that I can get. Now I did go in with just 1 pump on my hand, and I do still have a little bit left. I appreciate that this is not fragranced. It's funny, my husband and I were talking in the car. He came with me. He didn't go into Sephora with me. Our Sephora is by a Nike outlet store. So he went into Nike while I went into Sephora to pick this up. And he was talking about a coworker who got like the Chanel foundation. And so we were talking about foundation prices. I know, interesting thing to talk about with your husband, but we were. And I was telling him that Chanel is so heavily fragranced that I just could not get down with it. I couldn't do the fragrance, but this one is not heavily fragranced. I didn't even use a full pump. This is what we're looking like. I would say that's definitely light coverage. I mean, I'm seeing glow for sure, but I want to finish up this one pump before I go in with any more and see how buildable this is. Right off the bat though, I am noticing glow, which again, I don't mind. I like a glow. I like the hydration. I like the way that my skin looks, but I can see if you have, I mean, it's borderline oily looking at the moment. Remember when I was prepping, I didn't go in with any extra glowy type of products. So this is definitely coming from the foundation. I have watched some reviews and I know that people have said that it sets down and there's still some glow when you set down, but that was one pump. I would say it's more of a light coverage, definitely giving me a radiant boost, definitely making me look shiny. I can see that my oily friends would not appreciate this one for that. I'm gonna go in with maybe, I don't know, like a half a pump more, just like a half a pump, and I'm gonna take that right on the sponge. Now keep in mind, if you do use a sponge, sponges give you less coverage than a brush, but it's the way that I like to apply my makeup. So if you are looking for more of a true medium coverage, you may want to go in with a brush instead of a sponge, but I like the sponge application. So this is like a half of a pump, like 1.5. 1.5 pumps here. And I can see my freckles, I can see my beauty marks, I can see my skin underneath. It's giving me honestly more of like skin tint vibes because it's not really adding too much extra coverage. I don't know that I would consider this medium. I feel like I would consider this light coverage. Now, unfortunately, I don't struggle with redness or acne or anything like that, so I can't really tell if it's going to cover any of that. But so far, I'm having dewy, glowy skin. Like it looks like my skin, but it looks glowier, it looks dewier, and you can see my skin peeking underneath. It feels comfortable. I want to go ahead and let this set for a minute. I'm going to apply my brows. I'm not going to do any concealer or powder. I want to get my brows on. That's going to take me a minute, so I'm going to do that off camera. And then I'm going to come back and we're going to see how it's feeling, because right now it does feel unset. It feels sticky. It feels a little tacky. And I'm not typically someone who sets my whole face, but I want to give this a minute to soak in and see if it will set down for me. Okay, so don't look too closely at my brows. I recently did a speed reviews and I talked about this Milk Makeup Kush High Roll Brow Tint and that I don't like it. I'll have that link down below if you want to hear it, but I'm trying to find a way to make myself like it, you know, and I just can't. But coming back, and it's been, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes. I still feel like my skin is unset. It doesn't really have like a tacky feel, but when I touch it, I feel like there's something on my skin. I feel like I need to set it down. I'm gonna go in with a little bit of concealer. I just have this one right here. It's my LYS concealer, and this is more of like a lightweight type of concealer, serum texture, so it's not going to give me too much extra coverage, but we're gonna go ahead and put that down. I'm gonna take a little bit of my Sigma Loose setting powder, put that underneath my eyes, put that on the forehead. I don't typically set my whole face, and I don't really know if I'm going to. I kind of want to, just because this feels a little tacky, but then also I kind of want to see how the foundation does. So maybe we'll just set half of my face, I don't know. So just taking my sponge and blending out that concealer. I also talked about that LYS concealer in that speed reviews, so if you want to hear more about my thoughts, but I chose this one because it is lighter weight, lighter coverage, and more of a serum consistency, but I feel like it wouldn't be overpowering with that foundation. So what I want to do is I'm taking some of my Sigma powder on my sponge, and I want to keep it just underneath my under eye. I do take a little bit down into my smile lines, but I'm gonna try and keep it just in this area here because I think we'll powder one side of my face with the setting powder and not the other. But I do want to get the under eyes, and I normally do go in and powder my forehead always because of my wrinkles and crinkles there. So we're going to take the loose setting powder and set that. So this is my MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Light Plus, and I'm just going to take a big fluffy brush. I'm going to pick some of that product up, and we're just going to set the left side of my face. I'm going to leave the right side unset, and we'll just see. We'll see if it makes a difference. We'll see if it gives, I mean, you can still see a glow. Honestly, looking at it, I feel like the glow from first application has gone down a little bit. Like I still see some shine there, but once I've gone in with my under eye setting powder and concealer, it doesn't look quite as shockingly glowy as it did before. But we're gonna get some powder on this face and we'll see. Like that feels more set down. Feels about the same actually with powder on it. I still feel like when I'm touching my skin, I don't know what that feeling is. Like it still just feels like there's something on my skin. Not in an uncomfortable way, but it feels like if I was wearing a white shirt that I would definitely get some transfer. Okay, I am playing with another collection. I don't know which video is gonna go out first, but I do have the Little Mermaid collection in collaboration with Disney and Sigma. So I'm gonna go play with that, film that video, and then I'll be right back with a full face. It is currently 1:56, so we'll see what my foundation is looking like then. Okay, so it is currently 2:54, almost 3 o'clock. I've been wearing this foundation for a bit, and what I will say, here is a close-up of what it was looking like after I applied the rest of my makeup. I have a full video on this collection, on this makeup look, but what I will say is it's not quite as glowy and dewy as it goes on initially. When you first put it on, it almost looks like an illuminizer. Like it's so bright, it's so shiny, it's so glowy, and it does settle down into a nice, beautiful look in my opinion. For me, for a dry skinned girl, it's not too glowy, it's not too dewy. I don't think I need any help. Like I don't need the Auric Glow Lust underneath. I don't need like an extra glowy primer or anything like that. I think a hydrating primer is great, and then going in, I do have more of, I would say, a glowy natural finish. It does have more of a natural finish. I would say lighter coverage. I can see my freckles. I can see my beauty marks. I don't even know that I would say that this is medium buildable. I would say that it's giving me skin tint vibes, honestly. Like the Sigma skin tint that I tried recently, it's giving me that kind of vibe, but a little bit more glowy, a little bit more dew. Now, I will say, it doesn't feel completely transfer resistant. The powdered side and the unpowdered side feels slightly different. It feels like the powdered side is slightly less tacky, but I do feel like if I was wearing a white shirt and I like put my shirt on or took my shirt off, I think there would be transfer, but it's not uncomfortable. It's not any more or less than any other foundation, but it doesn't feel like transfer proof. So there's that. We will see how this continues to wear throughout the day. I will include some updates. I will let you know my thoughts. But first impression, y'all, a lot of people are hating on this, and I don't think I hate it. I really don't. It's definitely more of like an everyday. I don't know that this would be like a special occasion, special event, but I think leading into winter when my skin is dry and cakey and crusty, like I think that this will be a nice, healthy, dewy glow to the skin. Like I like it. I like the way my skin looks. So we will see, but stay tuned because I will have some more check-ins and updates throughout the day. Okay, so right now it is 5:30. We've been wearing this foundation for about 4 hours, and I feel like it looks really good. There's definitely no dryness. It's not settling into my forehead crinkles and wrinkles. It's not sitting weird around my nose. I do still feel like there's a little bit of tack or something on my face, but no makeup is actually rubbing off. I also don't feel like I'm super glowy, although it is close to 90 degrees here in Texas, and we're about to go get dinner and some ice cream and be outside for a little bit. So we're really gonna put it to the test. Well, hello friends. Same video, different day. I did not initially think that this Patrick Ta foundation was going to turn into a 2-day first impression, yet here we are. So I wore this all day yesterday. I did a little check-in that you saw, but also I did a check-in kind of at the end of the day where I just like recorded my makeup before I washed it off. It was about 9 p.m. I had worn it for somewhere around the 8-hour mark, and I will say, I did enjoy this foundation. It feels almost very reminiscent of a skin tint to me. I feel like I get more of a lighter coverage. I mean, maybe light medium if you build it up. Definitely not a full coverage. You get a lot of glow. When this first applies, when you first put this on your face, you'll even see in my demo today where I'm applying this foundation again, I decided to leave it in there because I really wanted to be able to like watch it back, and I have a lot of glow to my face. Like as someone with dry skin, I had so much glow that it even kind of like caught my eye for a second. If you do have dry skin and you traditionally like put the Oric Glow Lust or put some oil or like mix an illuminator in with your foundation, I feel like this is like an already mixed illuminated foundation, if you know what I mean. But I am happy to say that it goes on kind of shockingly glowy, but it does set down and you still have the glow and the shift, but it sets down where it's not quite so metallic. Now you're not gonna get a flat matte, you are going to get glowy. It's even more than like a satin. My Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk gives you more of like a satin silky finish. You are going to have more glow with this foundation, but it's not something that I feel like is kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't want to wear this. Now, if you have oily skin, you probably will not be a big fan of this. And I've seen a lot of people who have said that they aren't a big fan of this one, but I feel like if you have dry skin or even normal dry or like normal combo but dry areas, that you will really enjoy this one because it does give you like a glowy, healthy look. Even when I was out in the Texas heat, it's 90 degrees here, even though it's September, it's still 90 degrees. I didn't have any issues with this melting off of my face. I even felt like it settled into my forehead lines less than some of my other foundations. Everything settles into those bad boys. They are there, okay? This is almost 37 years of making facial expressions and having fine lines in my face. I've never had Botox or anything like that. So the lines are there, foundation settles in them. But I remember at the end of the night looking at my foundation last night and saying like, wow, it really did not settle into those lines like the way that some of my other foundations do. So I think because of the luminosity and because of the glowiness, you almost can't see the lines that are on my face. Now, if you do have textured skin, I do not have textured skin. I feel like a foundation like this would highlight texture on textured skin. That wasn't something that was an issue for me. I do feel like it's not transfer proof, although I don't really know that I have a foundation that's transfer proof. Like if I were to put a white shirt on or take a white shirt off, I feel like there would be transfer, but it's not uncomfortable. It's not like I'm touching my skin and feeling like, you know, I'm going to get foundation on my hand. It's not uncomfortable. It takes some time to actually set down, but I've been filming. I filmed this look here using the new it's not new, but the re-released Haunted Europe palette from Nomad. And I feel like in filming that video, my makeup has now settled and it just looks glowy and luminous and dewy. And I think I'm really gonna like this one. I think this will be a favorite for everyday wear, for especially these cooler months coming up when I wanna still look glowy. I never wanna look flat matte. So that little glow and luminosity and luminescence, I feel like is really great on the skin. So I like this one, y'all. It's not a regret for me. I am happy that I picked this up. I was very hesitant because I feel like a lot of the reviews were, you know, not on the favorable side, but I'm glad that I took the plunge. I really liked Patrick Ta's cream foundation when a lot of people did not. So now I'm like, okay, maybe I just have an unpopular opinion and that's okay. I like this one. I'm glad that I picked it up. So if you've tried it out, I would love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. Otherwise, that's gonna do it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you appreciate the 2-day wear test here. Otherwise, make sure you stay tuned because this look right here is coming soon. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.